Good day. Today I'm here to talk about these products, Dr. Earth Organic Fertilizers. Personally, I love these products. I swear by them. So I just wanted to share the benefits with you. I'll start with a small introduction about the company. Then I'll talk about the products that I use. I'll then talk about the uses and applications. And then I'll show a short demonstration of how I apply it. So firstly, the introduction. Dr. Earth has been serving the organic community since early 1991. Since their inception, they have dealt with only exclusively organic products. They were the first to introduce probiotic soils and fertilizers to the gardening industry. They have set the industry trends then and have continued to set today's industry trends through innovative technology and a vision for a sustainable future. All of Dr. Earth's products has beneficial soil microbes and endo and ecto mycorrhizae, which basically means all of the products promote healthy, strong roots, which in turn promote healthy, strong plants. So here I have three products, but I also use a fourth one. I have my favorite, the all-purpose 444, which is also called Premium Gold. And trust me, to me, this is like good gold. So I feel like it lives up to the name. They have Bat Guano, which is mainly for vegging, high in nitrogen. And then I have the Bloom, Bud and Bloom Flower Girl. So this is mainly for flowering or fruiting plants. Apart from that, I also use the vegetable and herb fertilizer, which, like I mentioned, that's currently finished, but I mainly use that for promoting more stronger stems and trunks. And like I said, all of the products promote strong roots. So, like I said, Premium Gold. This is my favorite. I live by this. I put this on anything. Flowers, on fruiting plants, on vegetables. This is my favorite. This is my go-to. This is currently the fertilizer I use for anything. Anything. I'm telling you. Any plant I get, I could put this on it. When you go to the back of all of the products, it has the breakdown, so it tells you the usage and application directions, and it has it in different setups. So it has it for potting plants, it has it for trees and shrubs. Different setups have different applications or use usage. Continuing on, it also has the breakdown of the NPK ratio, which the NPK ratio, for those who don't know, is basically just the ratio of the three key nutrients needed for plant growth, which are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So whenever you see NPK on any fertilizer, that just means that it's it's showing you the ratio of those three nutrients, which would be, like I said, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So as expressed, this here is a all-purpose 444, so it's balanced. It's good for everything. So let's say the back guano is more good for like vegging growth or the growth of the plant, which it's very high in nitrogen. Alternatively, the bud and bloom is mainly for when the plant is putting on fruits or starting to flower. This helps that. So if you can see, this one here is 394, which is high in phosphorus. So bottom line, meaning plants, when they're fruiting and budding, they need more phosphorus and potassium actually. to do what they have to do to provide you with nice big fat fruits or nice beautiful sweet smelling flowers. So going back to the 444, I generally use, let's say, 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon. So there is the instructions on the back, like I said. And let's say if I read this, it says when potting plants, mix 2 heaping tablespoons of the all-purpose per gallon. So that's for potting plants. So let's say if you have a 5 gallon, you put 10. And like I said, generally when I'm doing it, I top dress. So you can also do like compost teas with these different fertilizers and stuff like that. But personally, I stick to top dressing. Or sometimes when I'm transplanting, I do mix it in the soil beforehand. But generally, I use it as a dry amendment. And I follow the instructions. I do 2 tablespoons per gallon. So let's say if it's a 7 gallon, I'll give, let's say, 14 tablespoons. Let's say maybe if it's a plant that is fruiting, but I want to give like some of this and some of this, I'll do maybe like 7-7, or maybe I may do more of this and do like 10-4, and just to get an idea. Moving on to bat guano. Some experienced farmers may be more familiar with the bat guano. It is something that many experienced farmers are familiar with, and they do know the benefits of it. The bat guano, let me first give a disclaimer. When opening it, be very careful. Try to not bring it up to your face. I don't recommend you to put your face in it and smell it because it is strong. The scent is very high. So generally when I'm using it, I open it a distance away from my head, because a lot of times it has like dust that flies out, I guess from the type of fertilizer it is, maybe because it's from the bat's guano. But yeah, I try to keep it away. Honestly, even at this distance I could still smell the scent. But yeah, same directions, 1 to 2 tablespoons. Sometimes I go a little less with this one because generally guanos are basically fecal matter of the different animals. So I try to go a little easier and a little lighter when it comes to guanos. But yeah, I could say I live by this as well. I could say I see the exponential growth. Like even when I'm using the 444 all purpose, it's like I put some today and I give a good watering, and by tomorrow I see a difference. I see growth. I see a difference. And from the first time and every time, that's how it works. And that's one of the main reasons why I can attest to the benefits of Dr. Herb products. So going back to the NPK ratio, this one is 7:3:1. So like I said, it's the highest in nitrogen, and basically so think of it like this. Nitrogen is mainly for the growth of the plant. When a plant is just starting or trying to grow to maturity, it needs more nitrogen, which would promote the growth of the plant. Then like I mentioned with the phosphorus and the potassium, those are more for like when it's mature and it wants to fruit or do what it has to do as an adult. Going back to this though, like I said, this is more for growth, and like I mentioned, it's much less in phosphorus and potassium than, let's say, the 444 or even the Flower Girl. So now the Flower Girl, the Bud and Bloom Booster, I really like this one a lot as well. And generally I don't use it as much as the all-purpose, which makes sense. All-purpose is all-purpose. But I do also see the benefits in this very drastically. I could tell you they've had times whereas, let's say maybe my soursop trees are sugar apple trees just started putting out flowers and stuff, I might sprinkle a little bit of this around it, and maybe in the next day or two, you'll see more flowers, and just exponential growth and exponential advancement. It's amazing. And yeah, these products are great. Like I said, it gives you the directions. It shows you honestly what you can use it on. Like for instance, this one says fruit trees, citrus, hibiscus, all flowering plants, vines, bougainvilleas, roses. So it gives you a kind of idea of what generally people use it for. Same for the vegetables and herbs. It has on it that it's good for like tomatoes and eggplants and things of that nature. Going back to the information on the back, like I said, it explains the directions. It has the ratio. It also has the added supplements that is outlined in that is contained in the product, but it also has what it's derived from. Like I mentioned, all of these products are totally organic. They are from all organic materials. So let's say this one. It's derived from fish bone meal, alfalfa meal, potassium sulfate, feather meal, kelp meal, and kelp flour. Going to the all-purpose, I'll just read it off. Alfalfa meal, fish meal, potassium sulfate, kelp meal, and kelp flour. So as you can see, basically the same thing. It's just the ratios that are given to them are different, so they do different things. The veg, as I mentioned, I use that mainly for plant health. So generally that one I don't really give that much of either. I might, let's say when the plant is like in a growing stage, I might do mainly some of the all purpose. Maybe I might do a 1 or 2 scoops of the back guano, and then maybe 1 or 2 scoops of the veg as well, just to as an added supplement. So it's like you're giving it a plate of food, but you add a little dessert, you know? So, yeah, that's how I use it. That's the uses and applications of it. Like I said, everything is outlined on each of the products, so it has the directions on how to use it as well. And now I'll move on to a short demonstration of how I use these products. Okay, so now for the demonstration, I have a bread nut tree here in about 3 to 4 gallon pot, 3.5 gallon pot. And then I have some sweet potato vine that I planted here in this tub, which it's already flowering. So I said I'm gonna give it some fertilizer to, get it ready for the production. So here we go. So as you can see, I have the pot here. I have this small 1 tablespoon cup, and I have this specifically for my plants. I don't use this in the house. So like I said, it's about 3, so I'll give it about 6. 2. Once I administer it, I then scratch it in. I take a stick and I just scratch it in. And then after that, it's just a nice heavy watering. So now I'll move on to sweet potato. And because this is in like a tub, I'll do this one a little different. I'll just sprinkle some nice full heaps around. As you can see, I have some green onions planted as well, and I find they do help very much, especially with the iguanas. So although this is a lot bigger, I'm only going to put those four that I threw, because on the back they also have instructions basing them on the square footage. So let's say if you have an acre of land, it has a outline on, okay, how much to use for the acre, and so on, so on. So generally when it's like open like that, like in an open space like this, or let's say if I'm throwing it in the garden directly, then I kind of more sprinkle it out, and then still I come and I scratch in the dirt, and then I give it a nice watering. Now I'll come with my handy dandy tool and get scratching, which this will help me too to get an idea if any of the plants already have potato form. And if not, then that's even better, because then I caught this and fertilize them before it started, so then everything is just gonna go crazy. Which I love, and so far I haven't been feeling any. That's kind of a good sign. But yeah, you get the gist. I scratched the surface and then I gave her a nice heavy watering. Let me get the hose. Good, nice heavy watering. Make sure to soak it. Generally, especially in the pots, I soak it until the water rises and then starts to soak down. I really give it a good watering to make sure it soaks and all of that nutrients just goes right into the roots and gets sucked right up. Let me put some on here. The light. You see a nice full watering, and then just let it drain out, and then you're good to go. That's it. Doing this makes it a lot easier instead of having to like mix fertilizers and all of these different steps. No, you just sprinkle some, scratch it in, water. Simple as that. And just like that, your plants are fed and watered. Thank you for tuning in. Just a disclaimer, I have no affiliations with this company, but I will leave some Amazon affiliate links in the description so that you can check out these products if you are interested. Thank you for watching, and more content to come. Have a good one.